Okay, so this one asks us to calculate R6, L6, M6 for this curve right here. I don't want to do all of these because that would take us forever. So we'll just have time to get through this problem. We won't be able to do much more than this. So this is our curve. I'm not gonna. Well, let's draw it to kind of have a picture in our head, but we should be able to do this without drawing it in the future. Now I'm only going to draw this part of the curve. We know that it also goes right here, but we are only in the interval between 2 and 4. And so since it says 6 right here, we're dividing it up into 6 sub-intervals, so let's really quickly find our delta x. We take the 4 and we subtract the 2, and we get, and we divide that by 6, so we get 2 over 6, which equals 1/3. Okay, now your change in x should always be positive, so our change in x is 1/3. Now I don't have enough space right here to draw 6 really clear looking boxes, but just bear with me. So if I draw my first box, I'm going to go 1/3 this way, and I'm going to draw my box like so. I'll start with this point and then go like that. Okay, and that makes it kind of easier. When you start with the point that's on the function, it's always easier to draw the boxes. Then my next point would be right here, and then you go on and on. And so you don't have to draw it. I just did it for a visual. Now let's find the area of that box and all the other boxes. So this is for R6. You're going to take the delta x and multiply that times the sum of all the heights. So we would go f of 2.5. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make that an improper fraction. 2 and thank you. 2 1/3. Yeah. Why did I write 1/2? Because it's Monday. Okay. So I'm going to write that as an improper fraction. So that's going to be 2 times 3 is 6, 7. So it's going to be 7 over 3. So instead of 2 1/3, let's write 7 over 3. Because that would actually be easier to plug into this than a mixed number. Alright, so now I have to do this 5 more times because there's 6 rectangles. I should have 6 heights. And so I'm going to keep adding 1/3. So it's going to be f of 8 over 3. Plus f of 9 over, wait, what's 9 over 3? 9 over 3 is, I'll write 9 over 3 and then I'll simplify it just so some of you guys who are copying it. And then I go plus 10 over 3, f of 10 over 3, plus f of 11 over 3, and then finally plus f of 12 over 3, which is just 4. Okay, so there's all our heights. Now what we would have to do is we'd have to plug all those into this function. Now the cool part about this is this is really the same as 1 over x. And so if I plug a fraction into there, we're going to end up multiplying by the reciprocal. Let's go ahead and plug in the first one so you guys can see it. It would be 1 over 7 over 3, which is the same as 1 divided by 7 over 3, which is the same as saying 1 times 3 over 7. Okay, so we really just have to take the reciprocal of this and we get our answer. And we'll do that for all the other ones. So it's going to be 3 over 7 plus 3 over 8 plus 1 over 3 plus 3 over 10 plus 3 over 11 plus 1 over 4. See how arduous this can be? Alright, then we have 1/3 in the beginning, which is our delta x. Now we have to add all these dudes together and then multiply it times 1/3. Let's take the easy way out. You guys have a calculator? Can you plug it all in and multiply it by 3? So add them all first, say equals, then multiply by 1/3 so you make sure you don't make a syntax error. So after you do all that, actually I shouldn't say equals, I should say approximate because I got a decimal here that has been rounded. What is it? 0.653. So that is your right side Riemann sum, or right endpoint Riemann sum. R sub 6 is approximately equal to 0.653. Now if I were to do the L one, do L6, it would look like this. We have L6 that would equal delta x, which is 1/3. And this time, what do I start with? Do I start with 2 and 1/3 like last time? Nah, we start with the 2 because it's left side. So you're going to go f of 2 plus, and then you're going to say f of 2 and 1/3 And again, I'd probably make this into a improper fraction just because I can see into the future. I'm going to have to plug it into that. And we would go on so on and so forth until the end. The end, we would not plug in f of 4, we would plug in f of 3 2/3, which is the last x value right before right before the 4. And so you do all that, and then you'll get another estimate. If you practice, it'll be L sub 6 is approximately equal to 0.737. So there's our L6, we have our R6, and then we have our M6. So how would that one look? Well, again, we have our delta x. Whoops, that's not delta x, that's delta x. And we would say f of, and so what would be the first one that we plug in there? It's kind of neat, because once you find the first one, you just have to keep adding the delta x to get the other ones. How do we find the first one? I know it's not going to be 2, it's not going to be 2 1/3, it's going to be in between. So how do I find the in between? So to find the midpoint, you would take the first number, which is 2, or your a, and then you would add half the delta x. You wouldn't add the whole delta x, half the delta x. So our delta x is 1/3. Half of that would be 1/6. So it's going to be 2 plus 1/6, which I don't know why I wrote all that. That is 2 1/6. And then we would go plus, and now the next x that you plug in is going to be 2 1/6 plus the change in x. So we're going to add 1/3, or you can add, instead of adding 1/3, we can add 2/6. That, you know, same denominators. So we got 2 and 3/6, which is actually 2.5, but I don't need to simplify it. I think you guys get that. And then plus dot dot dot, and we do this 5 times until you get the last one, which would be f of, let's see, 4 minus 1/6 would be 3 and 5/6. So that should be the last height that we have to add together. And then after you finish that, you will approximately get 0.692. That is M6.